set the time.
Yeah, give her that medicine now. But the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
Start that over, my friend. Welcome to the OG ThugDizzo Show.
I'm checking to see if there's a second cup.
Oh, that's why I was asking. I thought you was over there on that, so I didn't bother. I didn't know. Thought you was already sipping something over
There
there.
you go. You can make my cup. Appreciate you. That's good.
Damn, I ain't pulling it.
Alright, that's all I need.
Alright.
Next to that.
Match it with this spring. There you go. Oh, I thought you just wanted to get up and shut up.
Thank
You said thank you. Donkey son. Oh. On the highway, my way. What it do, good people? You see the title, but you already know what time it is. The OG ThugDizzo Show.
you.
Welcome, my friends.
Hey.
Just say, hey, nobody can hear that little whisper. I'm still here. Welcome.
Hey.
There she
Was that
go.
loud enough?
I
Is
think
that big
so.
enough?
I need to get I need to get another extended mic or something.
Yeah, 'cause I can't be screaming at these good people.
But I think they turn my mic is turned up. It should be it picks you up over there.
Okay.
All right, so now we got what did I just do? I could have sworn I just did something. Oh, here it is. I don't know what I just did, but I'm gonna do it again. Oh yeah, it should pop up right there now. You should see it.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, there you go right there. Then I could have actually customized the bottom part too. But I did.
To do what?
Just to say,
Like a
show
scrolling
it.
banner or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to do it though. But anyway, guys, what's happening? This is your boy, all the way through OG ThugDizzo. We in the Crizzo with Lady Property.
Hey.
That's what a T. She's shy, guys. This is her first time.
No,
She's
I was on
shy,
another one
man.
with you.
All right, so we talking about moving from your parents' homes for the first time. We got the simple answer, meaning that you're probably sitting there playing a video game. You're probably 18. I'm thinking 18, maybe 19 or something like that. So you're pretty much a grown ass person, to be honest with you. And you're wondering, hey, you know what? I am getting up out of here. I'm gonna get up out of here. What do I do first, next, second, third, last? Then, yo, we got those simple answers. So, I'm not the expert. I'm far from the expert witness here, but that's what Miss Lady Property is here for. So we're gonna pick the brain here. I think I need to back up on something here. There we go. All right. So what is the first person? What they need to do? What they need to be thinking right now before they make this move? What are they?
Well,
What are they doing?
I mean, thinking about it, before actually making a move, that's the best thing to do. Have a plan. You don't want to just make a rash decision because it's real out here in these streets. If you're adulting, I recommend just having a plan. So, if
Wow.
you're living at home, take advantage of living at home. Save as much money as you can, assuming that you're working. Um, right? And let's just be real, right? Like if you, I guess that would be the very first step. If you're not working, obviously you need to have some sort of income because if you're moving out, you got to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to pay your bills. So yeah, I guess that would be step one. Get a job because I don't want to, assume that somebody's already got that job. But obviously from there, you know, save 50% of your money. That would be what I would say would be the first steps.
What's the ratio between how much I need to have to move out? How much am I needing? Some people say, hey, I need 3 times the rent, 4 times the rent, 5 times. What you recommend out there?
Yeah, I would definitely say 5 times the rent.
So
Um,
before I move out, as an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, my rent is whatever, whatever. Times 5 is what I need to have.
so let's preface this, right?
Excuse
Because
me.
like if you live in a big city
Sorry about that,
like
guys.
New York or I don't know Houston, Atlanta, you know San Francisco, Los Angeles, a big city, 5 times the rent. The rent could be $2,000, so that might be $10,000,
Mm.
right? So
Need that 10 grand, people.
yeah, yeah. So I would definitely say look at where you live first. Um, but if you live in a big city like that, I would definitely say try to have 4 to 5 times the rent.
Mm.
That would definitely make your life a lot easier because you just never know what's gonna happen. And I moved out the first time of my parents' house when I went to college. And I don't know if you can consider that moving out, right? Like, I took all my stuff, but I still had a bedroom to go home to.
Yeah, got to have that bedroom.
And I was out of state, but that's your first experience, like not living at home, especially if you live off campus, which I did for a year.
And don't burn your bridges with your parents, people. Don't burn your bridges.
Yeah, that would be very dumb.
Don't
Now,
do that.
here's another assumption, right? We're assuming these people have normal, functional, cool ass, kind ass parents, right? Because everybody doesn't have that situation,
Everybody don't have cool
unfortunately.
parents. That I can attest to that, my friend. That I can. Life is crazy though. You can't pick and choose who you're born to. But continue.
Yeah, so, if you can, you know,
Pick who you can be born to.
no, I
Oh,
mean, if you can stomach living
oh,
at home,
stomach living at home.
if you have a home, if your parents have a home that you can live in, I say do that. And for some reason, like Americans, we think that's whack, but that's not, what other people do. Like, I went to school in Chinatown in New York, so I had a lot of Asian friends. and they lived at home. Like it was no shame in living at home. All this talk about living in your parents' basement or whatever. Like it was none of that. Like that was just expected that they was gonna stay home and save money. So, um, you know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people try to make you do what they think is cool or whatever. Just do what's best for you. So yeah, save your money 50% or whatever of your income. Build it up until you have at least 5 times the rent if you live in a big city, or if you live in a small city. And let's assume, I don't know, your rent is like $600 a month, which is like almost impossible to find these days.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's kind of to me like a low amount of money. 5 times that would be $3,000, and that's not really a lot. So I would say at that point, look at all of your expenses, like how much you think it's gonna cost for your lights, your phone bill, your gas or water, or you know, insurance, your car insurance. Like take all of everything that you have to pay every month and save 4 to 5 times that amount,
Mm.
and that'll give you a better footing, in my opinion. And you can do that if you live in a large city too, but that would just be kind of a harder goal, I would think, to attain, depending on what kind of job you have. So, you know,
Okay, so this is all good information. So a quick recap on that. First of all, get a plan. Have a plan. Second, you want to save money. Save, save, save. And then obviously at that point, you want to not only save but try to figure out what will be your budget. What are you comfortable with as far as paying monthly? All right, so now the basics. What do you really need when you first move into your first apartment? Some things you've seen people moving in for the first time. I'm quite sure in your time you've seen young people moving in over time. You've seen them moving in with their parents, or their parents helping them move in a bunch of new stuff, or they just moving in with a blow up mattress and say, "Hey, mom, pa, I got it from here." What, what you seen there? What we got? What's the best advice
um,
on that?
that's hilarious. Hold
Oh yeah, yeah. What is that advice on that?
on. I've seen it all.
Okay, okay.
I've seen the blow up mattress and the suitcase
Mm,
to, the whole family coming together and helping you move in, and they're bringing stuff that they don't need from their home, or even giving you an allowance like a credit card or money to go furnish your apartment.
mm.
um, and that's only because like I've managed apartments in the
Mm, the
hood.
hood, hood. Okay.
And then eventually worked up to managing like class B teetering on class A properties.
Mm, okay.
So, those people have a bit more money, and obviously they take care of their children in a much more lavish way. Um, but that being said, if you're doing it by yourself on a budget, which is how I did it, um, man, like thrift stores and secondhand places, yard sales, man, those are like my best friends. You can find so much good quality stuff secondhand, and all you got to do most of the time is just clean it up. Sometimes you might throw a coat of paint on it or whatever, make it your own, and no one will know the difference really.
Okay. All right. So what about with that? Now that sounds like back in anybody else's haymaker day, the good days.
In the
But
good days,
yeah, 'cause today is coronavirus days.
yeah, I would trust buying something secondhand. Um, I would definitely be careful. First of all, let me say this,
Mm-hmm.
because before coronavirus was bed bugs, and so I was always a stickler for, you know, making sure to check your inventory before you purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, yes, it is coronavirus days. I still think, as far as buying used furniture, bed bugs is probably a bigger issue than coronavirus would be. You can spray it down with Lysol, and
Okay.
or wipe it down with some bleachy water, and you're good to go. So,
Okay.
and
Okay.
people are still getting rid of stuff because people are cooped up in their houses still, getting rid of things still. Some people are trying to, sell stuff so they can make money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people unfortunately are still suffering because of all that's happened, due to the pandemic. So yeah, they're trying to sell stuff they don't need to generate income to pay their bills. So yeah, I would definitely not let coronavirus hinder me in that way. Um, and especially if we buy it from like Goodwill or Salvation Army, you're actually supporting a charity. So you're, you know, getting something you need and you're supporting a good cause. But anyway, yeah, you can do that. Or you can just, buy stuff as you can afford it. Like, you don't have to buy the best of everything. You don't need to, I don't know, splurge. Just buy things little by little as you can afford it, whatever works in your budget, you know.
Well, some of these kids like to probably show up and show out. So you probably want to budget splurge. There's a lot of good places to shop, especially online. Have it delivered to your home and whatnot. Or TJ Maxx, good old TJ
Mm-hmm.
Maxx. Home goods stores and stuff or whatnot. But at the same time, it's all about that budget still. Having that 5 times over. So whatever you have prior to, that means, try to maybe the parents give you some good go away gifts. Maybe that's another way to hustle, getting some extra money. Hey, maybe have a moving in party with your friends where they do something or something. Anything is possible. That can be a home warming gift from people bringing gifts for your first time or whatnot. That's always a good thing. So
And if you're a responsible person, you can also use it as an opportunity to build credit. You can buy furniture, for example, from Target. I mean, it's probably not going to last for 10 years, but you get something decent that'll last a little while. Put that on a card, make sure that that's not more than, I would say, 10-15% of your outstanding balance, and pay it off each month so you're not paying interest on it. Because
okay,
that's another thing that young people don't realize they need when they're moving into usually an apartment.
hmm
Your credit. You have to have a
got
credit
to have
score.
that credit score, people.
Because if you don't, either you're not going to make it in, or if you do make it in, your security deposit is going to be so high. I've seen some places do 1.5 times a month, right, as a security deposit.
Okay.
So,
Oh, that was your security deposit would be
but the higher your credit score,
the
the
less.
less your security deposit, or sometimes you don't even have to make a security deposit. So definitely build that credit, guys.
Got to build that credit. Build that credit. So now you got your 5 times fold. Your money is up. You got everything's good. You done had the party and got gifts. You done moved in. But prior to moving in, or while you're moving in, what is the best way to determine that? Hey, you know what? I think I may have a bad management company that I moved on, or I might even come across the fact that this is a great place. What are those indicating factors to say, hey, this is either a good place or a bad place?
Well, I would say moving day when you got the keys, was the place clean? Was it in good condition? Were there true owners or renters living there before you got there? Meaning, are there roaches, mice, all sorts of vermin? Uh, yeah, so if you're getting into a nice clean apartment, that's a good first impression.
Okay.
Look at your neighborhood. Are they cutting the grass regularly? Do they have somebody walking the grounds picking up trash? Um, do your appliances work? Is everything in good order, working condition? Then yeah, if that's the case, then you probably, at least you have a good maintenance crew. Um,
Okay.
do the people pick up the phone when you call the office? Do they answer your questions in a reasonable period of time? A day or two? If you're sending an email or whatever.
Mm.
Um, do they seem to care about the residents? Do you have amenities available? Or maybe you might live in a small place if it's a mom and pop place, just do they seem like they are making themselves available or anticipating your needs
Okay.
and
Okay.
doing things before you have to ask?
Okay. Now, with that, do you find yourself, or how do you know that you're dealing with a bad company all around? Like, if this is like, besides the maintenance people, the person in that office, how do I know that they care about my small dollars? Meaning that when I have issues, not only are they saying maintenance, but they're saying, are everyone's supposed to say yes sir, yes ma'am, or whatnot too? Some people talk to you so thuggy. So how do I recognize that? Hey, you know what? Is this process? Am I looking at that process in the time that I'm signing up? Or you know what? Hey, I apply for this. I know I'm going to get this, but I don't like how they talking here.
Yeah. Well, I think regardless of your age, people should be treating you with respect. You're coming in there to spend your money. So at the end of the day, they really shouldn't see age. They should just see uh, your ability to live in the apartment responsibly. Period. That being said, don't be a prick just because you're young. You have the money and you can do it. Treat people the way you want to be treated. So
Okay.
first of all, are you going in there being respectful? If yeah,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, you should expect that same level of respect. I think yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and no, ma'am. That can be a very regional thing. Obviously, in the southern states, people are a lot more cordial, and so yeah, you expect that. Um, I don't think it's an indication of disrespect, though,
Okay.
especially if you live in a place where that's not, what people do. So,
Yeah, that's true.
um, but yeah, obviously this person, they are attentive to you when you walk in. They're not sending you to stand in a corner and then helping the next person that walks in the door. Obviously that's very rude and disrespectful. Um, but yeah, they're attentive to you. They listen to your concern or your need, answer your question, or if they don't have an answer, let you know the time frame when they'll get back to you. And yeah, just someone who is attentive.
Okay. All right.
Did they give you a copy of your lease when you moved in? That's important. You should always have a copy of that for your records. Um, and make sure you have all the phone numbers you need. Emergency phone number for maintenance. If they have a courtesy officer, you want to get that. Yep.
All right. So good properties. Also, what are some of the good places that I need to move to that are obviously these are things that are going to be best for that individual person, but as a individual overall, is it best to move next to big cities, railroad tracks, or stores, gas stations, places that have little mom and pop shops out and about, or should I even, if I'm thinking that way, should I just even get a small condo or something like that? What my first move should be, a condo, apartment somewhere far out, somewhere close, somewhere happening? Is that just based on just that individual person, or is there something that you should do prior to? You're like, hey, you know what? My first one should be. Is it just all about what is that based off of?
Yeah, I think that's a very individual based question,
Okay.
and everyone is going to be different. Um, I would not say to someone that they should move into an apartment before getting a piece of property, especially now if you qualify for it. I think
Go
that's a
ahead and
really
get your,
great way to build for your
yeah.
future. So if you could get into, a good condo,
Okay.
emphasis on good, someplace that's not too old, someplace where they have enough reserves or money saved up to take care of problems that they see coming down the future, then yeah, that's definitely a good investment. I would say, especially in like a up and coming city or a place that's already established.
Hmm.
Um, and we were talking about credit earlier. That would definitely diversify your credit if you had a mortgage on this place, and it would lock in your housing expense, particularly if you got a fixed rate mortgage, which, by the way, I think is the only mortgage you should consider. Don't go for an ARM or an adjustable rate mortgage, because it'll start out low, but then your payments will increase and possibly could increase, and you don't know how high that would be, so that's pretty risky.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so but if but that would be for someone like, okay, so you know, I guess I can only really use myself. That's the kind of the best example. So for me, like, I lived at home after I went to college and came back home. From that point, I lived at home for 2 years.
Hmm.
And 1.5 of those years, I was working in the same field. Um, so I was already establishing myself as a professional and building a career for myself. I, at that point in time, was actually looking for a condo, um, and was about to buy one, and then there was an opportunity to move out of state, and so that did not happen.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, at that time, like, that's what I was getting ready to do. Actually, I was gonna get my own property. But anyway, if that's not for you, I would say renting is still a good opportunity. Just make sure that you are not um, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses. Like, don't overprice yourself. Don't try to find something that's so fancy. Or, as you begin to move up in your career, you feel like, oh, well, I'm making more money, so I can upgrade my apartment. Um, just be humble and save
Hmm.
your money so that you can buy property, because I think that should be everyone's goal. And it is a lot of responsibility. And there are different types of properties that you can own where you will have more or less responsibility when it comes to maintenance and things like that. So, if you can handle more responsibility, buy a house. If you can't, buy a townhouse and an
Mm.
HOA where people cut the grass for you.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Got to have someone cut that grass, especially if you don't have a lawnmower. So yeah, HOA, that is a different subject, different beast, a whole nother uh, monster right there by itself. However, with that bit of information, you already got the plan. You're moving out. Your parents are throwing you a party. Friends are coming through, giving you gifts. You're shopping right. You found the place. You saved up money. You gotta either you've obviously determined whether or not this is a good place. You're gonna return or move on to a different venture, or you're gonna actually skip all that and jump out because you got the credit, get a house, get a condo, and life is gravy. So, anything you want to recap on that?
um, I would just say, again, take advantage of living at home. Save as
Oh
much
yeah,
as you
take
can,
advantage of that.
at least 50%. If you can save more money, do that. Build your credit responsibly. If you're going to max out those credit cards and not figure out how to build credit responsibly, don't even bother. Like, you would literally just be better off paying for everything with cash. Don't get a credit card.
Don't get that
Um,
card.
I did not touch on this, but I would add, consider getting a roommate, a responsible roommate, somebody you can share those expenses with.
Okay.
That might make it easier to move out. And just be humble, build up slowly but surely. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. And if you're in a position where, you can ball out on mommy and daddy's budget, do that too.
Gotta say, yeah, I
Live
like that.
life, be happy. And yeah, just live life and be happy, guys. Everybody's journey is different. Be patient with yourself, it'll happen.
Yes, always be patient. That's one thing. That's another good word too. Be patient. If you're not patient, you will rush into something, and it probably be something that you don't like. And some people might have that money to throw away and be like, I can do the next thing. But if you're patient, you're putting all your money into one pretty much good investment. So yeah, love life, be happy, my friends. OG ThugDizzo, welcome to the game show. Love life and be happy. That's something that she said here. This lady love property. Oh yeah, we gotta give the loved one some mess here. So now, guys, with that bit of information, we're in, but at the same time, we out. Holla at your boy and
Lady Property.
Lady Property. That's PROP. I think that's PROPERNTTEA, y'all. Lady Property. She got the tea for you. Holla at your boys. And holla at your girl over there. She's looking sour right by now, though.